Okay, so I am now going over the revision test from the other day, which people did with varying degrees of success. Though some of you did it with absolutely no success whatsoever. I think that's fair to say. So especially if you're one of those people, do pay attention, and I'll go through the whole thing. I can't write on the sheet, but I can speak and you can listen. And I'll point. See? Look at that. That's like magic, really. Special effects. Eat your heart out. So ille can mean that man, those men, they or he, or it could be an adjective. The same with the word for this. For example, here, if you've got Hank Villam, those two words are accusative feminine singular, so the Hank must mean this. It's not going to mean he or this man. Ille's on its own. Therefore, as a pronoun, it's just going to mean he. He built this house. Number 2, notice ille, villi. Those two words obviously go together. Those villas are beautiful. Hike villa. The word it goes with is invariably right next to it, so it's pretty obvious even with different endings. Those two words go together. This villa is more beautiful than. Meos, mea, meum means my, or mine, or of me. This house is more beautiful than mine. Mea, villa. That's why it's mea, because of villa. This boy. Oh, and there are some in this year 10 class. The boy is. Don't forget what you learnt in year 7. First word, last word, back to the middle. Very often works. Even though here we've got est, it still works. The boy is much. There was a note on Malto with comparatives in the textbook. Much wiser than the master, the teacher. Number 5, notice, is sort of the same. I've left out Malto. You've got here something called an ablative of comparison. You don't need the quam sometimes. You could just, with a simple comparison, put the thing that's being compared to, I don't know whether my English is right there, in the ablative. So the boy is wiser than the master, magistro. That's the ablative case. Servus, serve, servum, servi, servo, servo. That's the ablative. By the way, dative and ablative are the same ending in the second declension, but the ablative is 10 times more common than the dative. The dative is very rare indeed. So that's the first bit of the quiz. And then I said, from your knowledge of Rex, fill in the gaps. Okay. And perhaps here we could add masculine, feminine, and neuter. That would help. So what should go in the gaps? Notice it's third declension. For a third declension, you need to know the nominative and the genitive, rex, regis. From regis, the other parts are formed, so it's rex, rex, regem, regis, regi, rege. Plural, reges, 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 regum, regibus, regibus. So, there's no reason at all for the third declension to change in the nominative as an adjective. So ingens, ingens, ingens can't change, doesn't change for the nominative. As for the accusative, though, Well, look at ingentis. What I need to do here is knock off the is and add the accusative, em. In fact, I'm going to do the same again, because third declension doesn't distinguish between masculine and feminine, therefore the endings are the same. Slightly different with ingens as the neuter, because two things you need to know about neuters. Nominative and accusative are the same. The second thing is that neuter plurals end in a. So you've got then, for the accusative line, ingentem, ingentem, ingens. So those two must follow each other. These two must follow each other. Genitive is ingentis, which therefore means ingentis must be the neuter genitive. It must be. There's no reason on earth why it would change. Dative, look at the genitive. It's the same all the way through. The dative's going to be the same all the way through. So what's it going to be all the way through? Well, it must be ingent. And you stick on the dative ending, and that's rex, rex, regem, regis, regi. You just need to do that 3 times. It's child's play. Now, the only issue with third declension adjectives is that they are different in the ablative from the nouns. And look how they're different. It stays ingenti. And if it stays ingenti for the masculine, surprise, surprise, it's going to stay ingenti for the feminine and for the neuter. So that's on the basis of the third declension noun, that is the third declension adjective. That's what it must be. Plural. Reges, 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 regum, regibus, regibus. Look, if you've got ingentes for the feminine, that must be what the masculine is. Makes sense. Look at the neuter, ingentia. Yeah, there's a random I that creeps in, but still, neuter plurals end with a. The accusative, well, it's reges, 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 so that's got to be the same, surely. I've spelt it wrong, but we'll soon correct that. And you're going to find the same again. And nominative and accusative are the same, singular and plural. So, ingentia. So that and that have to be the same. That and that have to be, in fact, all 4 have to be the same because it's reges, reges, reges. We're not bothering with the vocative, by the way. Look, genitive singular. It's the same all the way through. Dative is the same all the way through. And dative and ablative are the same. So guess what? How can you fill out the genitive? By replicating the masculine as the feminine, and then it's the same for the neuter. Ingentium, ingentium, ingentium. If you've got 1 ingentibus, you've got 6 of them. And so it goes on. Ablative, because it's regibus, regibus. I should just copy and paste, but it's beyond me to get so technical this time of the day. we've got Shay and Calum sitting here, of course, dutifully getting on with work. My star pupils today, Shay and Calum. Okay, so that's the revision sheet completed. That's what ingens goes like, but all third declension adjectives go like third declension nouns. The main group of adjectives is called first and second declension, and they've got all the endings of puella and servus. But there are also third declension adjectives. They all go like rex. They go like the nouns, and you can work out the endings for any adjective from the third declension by thinking of rex, rex, regem, regis, regi, regay, reges, 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 regum, regibus, regibus. And I think that's enough for now. So that's hopefully that sheet explained. Any questions, you can email me or something wizard like that.